Join me in exploring the transformational paths of the 64 fundamental patterns in our holographic universe. Each week, we're given an opportunity to move past a karmic block, a shadow pattern, an opportunity to face a part of ourselves with honor, love, compassion, and acceptance. There are 64 degree points in the sky, known as the 64 I Chings. The I Ching, the Book of Change, is an ancient secret knowledge from thousands of years ago that was used to track and harmonize with the forces of nature. It's the map of the changing cosmic forces, the 64 fundamental patterns of consciousness, the 64 shadow patterns, the map of consciousness, which magically has the same mathematical formula, the same geometry as our genetic codes, our DNA. Each week, every 6 days, the transiting sun activates one of these 64 I Chings, activating a corresponding genetic codon within us, stimulating our consciousness field, the theme of the world around us, our experience, giving us a divine opportunity to consciously meet a karmic block, a shadow pattern, the key to unlock our suffering and awakening our light. You see, every shadow, every challenge that we face is really an opportunity to respond imaginatively, to see things from a new perspective, to awaken our light, to evolve. And how we respond to challenges dictates the pattern of our destiny. When we allow the shadow to be our friend rather than our enemy, we learn to drink tea with it. We learn to unlock its gifts. The art of contemplation is awareness turned inwards on a regular basis. The I Ching is a living wisdom, a sacred divine transmission, which means there are no experts, especially not me. It is meant to be lived through. There's only our listening inwardly and viewing inwardly, so listening through the heart and body. The deeper we listen, the deeper the mystery opens up before us, awakening our light, expanding our awareness, opening up our beautiful heart to the magic all around us, the divine within. This week, the sun within us, consciousness life, activates the 62nd I Ching. The transformational path of this frequency moves us from the shadow of intellect to the highest vibration of impeccability, and it's through the path of precision. Some of you may be shocked to hear that one of the shadows in the I Ching is intellect, which can remind us that the shadows aren't bad. They are starting points for transformation. And the reason intellect is a shadow is because it's rooted in dualism. And dualism is a paradox, not to itself, but to truth. To itself, dualism is all there is. So intellect only sees life in terms of opposites, black and white, right and wrong, and our world is fabricated out of that. We don't realize it because our world is immersed in it. We grow up with it. It's everywhere. It's the structure of our society. It's embodied in our language patterns, our emotional bodies. It's the very way our perception operates. But it isn't all there is. There are other modes of perception, and the world of intellect is a construct. It's what the ancients called the Maya, the illusion. It's interesting to think about the ancients here, because it appears that the construct of the Maya, the illusion, it has not always been as rigid as it is today. There is this persistent intuition in humanity that somewhere, somehow, a long time ago, we saw things differently. There was this kind of golden age before the modern thinkers came along. And we inherited fragments of this distant epoch through the ancient texts, through the Vedas, through the Emerald Tablets, through the Kabbalists, the Druids, and the shamanic elders who still embody the old wisdom even today. When we try to look out through the eyes of the ancients, it doesn't quite work anymore, because how can you look back through an earlier evolution? You can try, but it doesn't quite work because the brain has moved on. The 60-second I Ching is special because it has the ability to see beyond the Maya, the illusion, by going through the Maya. So this is the path that the ancients called gnosis, to use the mind to go beyond the mind. But first, we need to understand the backdrop, where we have come from, where we are now, and where we're going. So this contemplation may be more detailed and longer than most of the others, a deeper exploration. Intellect is based on a single foundation. It's based on number. And number is the basis of the cosmos. And I'm not talking about number in the way we see it today, but in the way the ancients understood it. Number is the connective tissue that allows the mind to see the true nature of everything. Number today is associated with facts, but we will get to that in a moment. First, I'd like to clarify what number meant to the ancient world, the world before intellect took over. Number is the means to see correspondence. It's the key in seeing the connectivity of the holographic universe. So when you hear the ancient statement, as above, so below, that is the core foundation of the ancient worldview, and the means to see it was number. And this is why the ancients used, for example, astrology. It's why they assigned human characteristics or behaviors to a god, animal, or object. Everything corresponds to everything else. So all the old systems are based on codes. The 22 of the Kabbalah, the 12 of astrology, the 64 of the I Ching. Everyone used number in order to create correspondence. So number had quality rather than quantity. Number was spiritual, and it became the connective rod that allowed us to enter into courtship with the divine. Number was our yoga. It's nothing like it is now. It was magical. The way in which we identified with number shaped the way our brains worked. We lived in a more merged existence because everything meant something. And that's why in all the old stories, number was so important, so prevalent. The modern mind thinks it's obscure. It's uncertain about it all. Take the pyramids in Egypt, for example. Such magic. The modern scientific mind is confused because it's a non-magical mind projecting onto a magical mind. The brain was different in the time of the ancients. It was an earlier stage of evolution. It was more merged. So there's no way we can understand the mind that built those ancient temples, a mind without intellect. You see, now number is all about measurement. It's become time. After the birth of Christ, more or less, we began to use number to create time, and therefore history. But in the ancient world, time wasn't numbered. It's hard for us to imagine that now. The people who erected those stones did it for a reason, because stone is a witness to the passing of time. So they would have a witness to their passing generation, a way of remembering and ensuring that they are remembered, at least energetically, by future generations. So now we no longer use number like that. We no longer live in that timeless dimension. Our brain has learned a new way of using number, a dualistic mechanism. Everything became about dialect, about reasoning, logic, debate. Everything became about identification with opposites, logic, reason, debate, and about conflict. So we have gone through a process of unmerging, and a new logic was born. Intellect was born, fact was born, science was born, and this is the basis of the 60-second shadow. You see, when you take the magic away from number, it becomes rigid as facts. And to build a world out of facts is to build a hall of mirrors, a false reality. And this is the modern world. And facts are the dilemma of the 60-second shadow of intellect. Because what is a fact? A scientist today can pretty much prove anything with enough data, regardless if it's true or not. So there are no facts. There's only interpretation and perceptions. Today's facts are the future's fables. And it's true. Truth is found in the now, in this moment, because that's all there ever is. Facts give us the illusion of order, of balance, of harmony, of time. But if we build life around them, we're building a home around shaky grounds. So we have to be careful with this shadow. Our worldview is likely built upon sand. And it's why a related shadow, the 31st shadow of arrogance, is linked through the codon ring of no return. There is an arrogance in believing in facts. We think we have solved something. We use number to prove something. But that something can't be proven as truth. Fact and truth are not the same. They're not of the same dimension. So facts should be distrusted. So look at the facts you assume are real, the propaganda that you have swallowed. That is what working with the shadow is all about. It's about uprooting our opinions. Through human design, through the ancient wisdom of the Kabbalah, the 17th I Ching, the shadow of opinion, along with the 62nd I Ching, create a quantum field channel energy. So facts may drive us towards truth, but they cannot be regarded, understood as truth, or even as truisms. And some of the most important facts that hold up our worldview today may turn out to be absolutely false one day. They're bound to. As arrogance is intellectual certainty, whereas humility is something different. It only comes through cellular certainty, and the only cellular certainty is love. Now I'm sharing all this with the hope, with the intention that some small aspect of it will break through into your mind, into your awareness, to demonstrate how intellect has us in its grips. We have been completely hoodwinked. It's become so influential. It's become so useful. Intellect has advanced us. It's given us all our technology, all our efficiency. It has helped so many move from poverty to prosperity. It has helped humanity hugely. It continues to help. I'm not an anti-scientist, but it has only helped in one dimension, in the external dimension. It has not helped us internally. It has actually made everything worse on the inside. Look at all the shadows of the 64 I Chings, and you will see what intellect is made up of. Confusion, agitation, doubt, expectation, chaos, psychosis, which is the programming partner of this 62nd shadow of intellect. Psychosis, that is what we have become. We are split. We're no longer one. We have become two. So how does this relate to us? I know this might sound rather philosophical, but that is the modern mind. It has us trapped, cornered, and we have no idea how to overcome our inner difficulties. And we can't get back to how we were in the ancient world. That world can't help us anymore, not the way it used to, because the brain itself has changed, evolved. So how do we break the psychosis? How do we get out of the Maya? The 62nd gift, the way to alchemize the shadow and raise the vibration, precision. So now we're in duality. We can't go back to one. We can't turn back the clock to the timeless. We can't return to the ancient world, the golden age. This is the codon ring of no return. There's no going back. We can only go forward. Forwards from 2 leads to 3. So in the first eon, we were submerged in oneness. And in the second eon, we fell and divided and gave birth to the historical eon, the eon of measurement, the eon of 2, duality. So how do we return to unity? Well, we get back to oneness by moving forwards into 3, into Trinity. So if you have this 62nd I Ching in your energetic design, or you're contemplating it, exploring it, look at life. You may be obsessed with details, and you may be a victim of life's endless details, trivia, and plans. Look at how your days are numbered, how life follows the dictates of numbers, facts, time, dates, lists, and accounts, progressions, and sequences. Our bank accounts, the amount of time we spend on this, or our cell phones, our computers, are all based on number. The opinions we have formed as children, the ideology we have embodied through language patterns, our culture, political stance, even our health is measured. Everything is held together in this structure we have created. It's extremely hard to step out of the Maya, this illusion. So how do we do it? How do we step out of the Maya, this illusion? Well, that's the conundrum of the gift. That is the challenge of the gift. The first thing, we must see the depths of our illusion that surrounds us. And then the next thing to do is to go on seeing it in everything and in everywhere. And this is the value, the gift of contemplation. We must see the numbers behind everything, the ordering principles, the laws, and as we see them, we feel an acceptance slowly rising in us. There is an order in the cosmos, there is a perfection, but it's also disturbing because we're living in a deeply transformative period between two eons, a gap between the epochs. We're living in a time of the great change. So to see the Maya is to step through the Maya and out on the other side. When we contemplate this I Ching, we will see two harmonies, a false one and a real one. And the false one is the world we have created, over the top of the real one. You see, the real one is nature, the rhythms of the seasons, the passing of the stars, the ebbs and flows of the waters, the great rhythms. And then there is a false harmony, held together with sellotape. But a fundamental change is coming into humanity. It's coming from within us, as our consciousness is drastically evolving. It may have its reflections on the outside, but it will change the way our brains operate. Our DNA is mutating. We are moving from the dualistic to the Trinity. And at 3, you arrive back at oneness. But it's not the same oneness. It's the oneness enriched by the journey of 2, duality. The gift of precision is not as boring as it sounds. It's about the precision of awareness. It's the ability to see which patterns are in resonance with truth, what feels as truth, and which are false, paper tigers. So part of this gift's purpose is to pinpoint that which is false, but the other part is to organize information, structure, and people so they're in the right relationships to the higher harmony. And this gift always involves love. Love is the only way to dismantle the Maya, the construct of the intellect. Isn't that an incredible truth? And I don't mean yearning love or desiring love or needing love. I mean love. I mean unconditional love. Love rooted in the service of the whole. You see, in the old world, every number was related to a plant, a stone, a place. It showed us where we were in the space-time continuum. And this brings us to the art and science of alchemy, which is the art of using the qualities in the numbers in certain combinations to bring about transformation. But it is you that is being transformed. So number and language is the route forward to paradise. And precision is about aligning life correctly with the sacred principles. It's about awakening love. So we began with archaic ancient number, which was about quality. And then we moved to historical number, which is what we have now, which is only about quantity. And now we come to a new age in which we arrive at unified number, which combines quality and quantity and transcends them both. And united brings an end to history. So let's make it simple. Embrace the shadow, release the gift, embody the city. That is what I'm describing in the context of the whole. The 60-second I Ching sees the entire holographic cosmos. Everything is connected to everything else in perfect harmony. Every experience is perfect. The timing of your awakening is perfect. Precision is everywhere. The more you start seeing it, the more you embody it, the more you relax, the more you come into harmony. But this coming into harmony, it will put you through initiations. And initiations feel far from harmony. But stepping out of the Maya is like leaving the Earth's orbit. You have to have a certain momentum to push you through the veil. The I Chings are not facts. They're not rooted in fact. They are wormholes that open the door to love. They are the stitches in the holographic fabric of time and space, and your awareness can travel along them. This is a magical system because we live in a magical universe. The I Chings will guide you on how to use number to transcend number. They teach us how to use a language in order to transcend language, and they teach us from the inside out. You see, the old worldview is deeply flawed. It's made up of half-truths, opposites, and opinions. And there's no real order. There's only false order that keeps our heart and mind closed. The I Chings guide us to see across multiple dimensions simultaneously, to think with the heart, to see with the heart, the ability to allow a higher archetype to descend into the body and illuminate us from within. And it takes contemplation, surrender, and precision. So these new ways of seeing the world, this new language, gives us a ladder for our thoughts to become more and more purified until they become merged with the field of light itself. If you have the 60-second I Ching in your energetic design, this is your gift to navigate changes with absolute precision, mentally, emotionally, and physically. How to move through transformation through precision and grace, and to inspire others to do the same. The 60-second city, the higher vibration, impeccability. And finally, we get to the city. Everything becomes simple once again. This is the logic of unity, the language of light, embodied as impeccability. The higher we ascend in the ladder of frequency, the fewer words are available to us. And the tendency is to use those words in paradoxical or poetic combinations, because words are constantly dissolving back into the silence of unity. This 60-second I Ching has a lot to do with words and numbers. It's about truth. This is when facts are utterly dissolved, superseded by truth. So at the shadow vibration, facts has all the influence. At the city vibration, only truth has influence. And when truth is expressed through physicality, it becomes impeccability. So what is impeccability? What is truth? Well, it's pure authentic presence, a single emotion, fully embodied, fully owned. It doesn't need to be expressed externally. That's what has influence. Utterly authentic, utterly human. Here's a thought for you to contemplate. There have been many paintings, writings, pieces of great art and music that have been lost, that never saw the light of day. Great masterpieces, never seen by anyone but their author. Perhaps they were lost, destroyed, burned, all gone, never seen. Well, the art itself has no influence. But the act of creating that art as it occurred, that is what has influence. The art as it came through the artist in the present moment. It is never the result. It is always the moment. In eternity, no moment of truth is ever lost. It remains always. So a moment of pure awareness is more precious than anything you can create. Those moments are what remain when we die, etched forever in the fabric of our causal body, the purity of our heart, our impeccable moments. An impeccable moment doesn't have to be perfect. If you're thinking of impeccability in that way, let it go. This is the city. It's a paradox. Be gone, intellectual thinking. I empower you this week to create space, get to higher awareness, notice your thoughts, feel all the sensations fully that come up in the body. Shine the light of awareness to mental pressure, needing facts, mental loops. Breathe in, breathe out. Remember, love yourself and choose to be blessed.